In project 3, task 4.1, it's also a role play. You receive an angry call from the guest saying that the television is not working. So basically, this role play will be regard handling a complaint. We already covered the procedures of handling the complaint. You have to be calm. You have to check for details. You have to give attention to all the skills required by an employee to handle a complaint. Your focus on this task will be regard what you will do to solve the problem and handle the complaint. You also need to write a report regard the complaint, which is regard keeping report. So keeping a track. So you have to make a reference to the company's policies and the procedure on faulty equipment. Okay. You need to focus on how will you calm the customer down, how will you get the television to working, or provide evidence that you have followed the company's policies and the procedures. You need to submit two things also. You need to submit the Word file for your role play, the scenario, the conversation between you and the customer, and also you need to submit an audio file. You can change the complaint. There is more than one situation, but you have to do the same things for the task. So whatever it was, the story behind the complaint, either the television or another one, I will explain it now. That's fine, but you have to provide the following points: calming the customer down, getting the complaint solved, and evidence regard following the company's policies and the procedures. This is an example if you go down. So you have to fill in a complaint form. You have to mention there regard the name of the customers, the date of complaints, when the incidents happen, and also the room number and the problem or the complaint, what it is. You have to give details of complaint like a brief description. For example, television is not working, or room is dirty, or missing object in the room. You have to mention what was the complaint. And also, you have to write a notice like this form needs to be filled by hotel person or department responsible for corrective action. Then you have to mention here is the customer was satisfied with the solution or not. As we said, we need to handle any complaints to make the customer happy, and we make sure that he return to our business and he leave positive feedback. This way we will ensure growth of the business. You have different cases for complaining. For example, the internet connection is not working in your room, or you are a guest at expensive the Lagoon Hotel. The resort is nice, but it is too quiet. There is nothing to do, no days trip, no activities, no sports. This is another case. So there is no activities, or television is not working, or internet not working. Another story, you have just arrived at the hotel and you want to relax at the spa, but it is lunchtime and they are closed. So one customer is complaining regarding the spa. He just arrived, he's tired, and the spa is closed on afternoon, the lunchtime. So this is a complaint. How could you solve this an issue? Another example, you are a guest at expensive the Paradise Hotel. The food is awful. It is often cold and salty, so you are complaining regarding the food. It's always cold, always salty, and there are no vegetarian dishes. There is also little choices. It seems to be the same things every day. So this is a complaint by a customer. Okay. Another case, you reserved a room, you are a customer, you reserved a room with a view on a swimming pool, but when you arrived to your room, you found there is no window. So it's different from what you reserved the room in. Or the staff is friendly, unfriendly. Um, a maid refused to change the towels. So this is an example. You asked to change the towel, but the maid refused to change it. Another case, you are a guest in a hotel. There are only 3 different TV channels, which is unacceptable. So you are complaining regarding the TV channels. Another case, you have internet connection at the hotel is overpriced. So you are complaining regarding the price of the internet connection and not always working. So you have different cases. You have to choose one of them to make the complaint scenario required from there. Then you have to fill in the form. You can use the same form, but you have to fill it. Choose one of these cases or the one on the top explaining on the task. And these are some suggested vocabulary that might help you in writing your scenario. So we said in dealing with complaints, you have to see you have to show up your sympathy with the customer. So I'm expecting phrases like "I'm sorry," but then you have to explain the problem. I'm afraid. This is how you could, for example, I'm afraid there is. I'm afraid the spa department is closed in this time. How you would report the issue and keep calm of the customer. I can give you a refund, for example, for the service he already paid, like, for example, the internet issues, the one is not working and expensive. Or I can offer you a reduction, a discount, a refund, a free, a repair. So what is basically the problem? You can use one of these phrases would help. They most discount you, let the customer pay less, refund you give him his money back, reduction you reduce the amount he has to pay, a free is something not to pay money with, a repair something you have a problem with it, not working. You can say one solution is to provide you with is for example, one solution is to subscribe with more channels, or I will send you the lunch immediately if he complaining regard the breakfast cold or the food is cold. I'll talk to her about it. This is regard the maid. She refused to change the towel. Or this won't happen again, I promise. So I promise you this will never happen again. Or we could, then you suggest the solution. Or I think we should, then you suggest the solution. I recommend that changing the room. So you see here what the customer would accept as a solution. This is only an example to help you construct the phrases for your task. You will be the reception in this role play, the front office receptionist. This is the customer phrases. So this is to help you to construct the scenario of the phrases. It is terrible. He is complaining regarding the dish. You call this a luxury resort. So usually a complaining customer is an angry customer, emotional customer. He might blame the hotel, he might blame the staff in front of him. You might hear some phrases like, look at this, it's rubbish, damage. So maybe you will find unpolite customers. Use one of these phrases. This is of yours is awful. I hate it. So expect some phrases like this. The internet is overpriced. This is far too expensive. I will claim damage. You will hear from my lawyer. So what you will do if someone said he will call his lawyer or he will call the police? I deemed a fresh towel at once. So this is type of vocabulary for task 4.1, which is a role play. Is it clear, ladies, what you have to do in this task? Okay. So basically, you have to focus on the strategies of handling a complaint by a customer. If you need a revision regard what you have to do, look for lesson 2, which is handling complaint in unit 3. It will help you a lot. Um, Basically, you have to make the customer happy. You have to calm him down. You have to write and fill in the report. So this is what you have to do in task 4.1.